With Abjad and Korea being the only countries left, this caused the defending powers to be very weak. This meant that the attacking powers could win very easily if they played their cards right. And they did. They invaded Abjad from the south, the east, the west, and the north. Then in 2881 BC, Korea surrendered, ending World War -19. The war lasted from 2889 BC to 2881 BC. The war caused the removal of many nations such as the Baba Kingdom and the Goldberg Empire. The peace treaty said that Israel would get some land from Greater Samaria, Egypt and Phoenix would partition Egyptianics, Greece would get the coastal parts of the Baba Kingdom, and the rest of the Baba Kingdom would be abandoned. It also stated that the Goldberg Empire would be abandoned as well. And finally, none of the countries could go to war for 5 years. Because the Baba Kingdom is now in ruins, this meant that the recipe for burgers were forgotten. However, in 2880 BC, Rome used tomatoes to invent a new food called pizza. Pizza was a food that was flatbread with tomato sauce and cheese and sometimes meat on the pizza. Pizza was such a hit in Rome that pizza spread to Greece and Old Zealand. In 2859 BC, a pizza restaurant opened in Rome named Little Caesar's after the Caesar of Rome. Then in 2858 BC, Greece had a major election. However, elections were new to Greece because they were a monarchy. The election was to change the ideology. The results were 2 votes of keeping the same government, 3 votes of making the ideology a dictatorship, and 5 votes of changing the ideology to a democracy. Because of this meant that Greece was a democracy. The first Greek leader was Alexander I. The reign of a Greek leader in democratic Greece was 10 years. Meanwhile, in the Jaksa dynasty, there was an issue. The north and the south sections of the country were divided. The north had many cities and industries, however the south had many rice farms and small towns. Because of this, the south broke away in 2848 BC and created the Qin dynasty. The Jaksa dynasty attempted to defeat them, but the Qin dynasty stopped their advancements, so the Jaksa dynasty let the Qin dynasty exist. Back in Europe, 3 new nations were founded in 2844 BC. Polska, Germanic Kingdom, and Gaul. Polska had some of the northern section of modern-day Poland. The Germanic Kingdom had the north of Germany and the Netherlands, and Gaul had some of the southern part of France. Then 4 years later, in 2840 BC, a people group named the Akoish popped up in the Anatolian Peninsula. Then they formed a civilization named the Akoish Empire. However, then the Akoish Empire wanted the rest of the Anatolian Peninsula, so they declared war upon Greece. Luckily for Greece, they called Old Zealand into the war. However, Old Zealand was a weak country, so it did not help Greece very much. The Akoish Empire started to push into Greece and took over the Greek Anatolian territory. Then Greece made peace and let the Akoish Empire hold on to Anatolia.